My name is Stephanie Harper and I am from Georgetown, Texas. The piece I have selected to research is the current Texas state capitol located in Austin, Texas. The original Capitol building, built in 1853, was grand. However, in 1881 it burned down in the Great Capitol Fire of 1881, which quickly prompted Austin to rebuild. In 1882, the city of Austin started the construction on a new and larger building. The Capitol Land Board requested designs from architects all over the country, and an architect from Detroit won. He was chosen to design and implement a plan for the Capitol. His name was Elijah E. Myers, and he was selected based on the condition that he changed the square dome into a circular one. The Texas State Capitol is one of the tallest Capitol buildings in the United States at over 300 feet tall. The most notable and iconic part of the building is the circular rotunda. It provides an entry point to every other part of the building. The dome on the top is tiered with symmetrical tiles leading up to a star in the middle with Texas spelled out around it. On the exterior of the dome is a replica of Myers' original Goddess of Liberty statue. The original statue now stands in Bullock's Texas State History Museum. The building has Doric columns on the bottom, and on the dome it is wrapped in Ionic columns. If you are facing the front of the building from the outside, it is symmetrical down the middle. The exterior of the Texas State Capitol is granite, which gives the building a red hue. The roof is made of copper. The north entrance to the Capitol has a pediment with a small circular window in it. In addition, the building has hundreds of rectangular windows that provide natural light for the inside. The interior walls are limestone, while the original floor was hand-blocked clay tile, glass, and wood. However, the floors were redone and they are now terrazzo. The walls are adorned with oak, pine, cherry, cedar, walnut, and mahogany. So basically every type of wood. The inside of Texas State Capitol is ridden with pictures of past leaders from Texas. In fact, portraits of Texas governors line the walls of the first floor and spiral all the way up to the top of the fourth floor, where you'll find the presidents of the Republic. The many pieces of art hanging on the inside of the building depict essential figures in Texas history. Iconology is present throughout the Texas State Capitol. There are a multitude of paintings and statues within the building symbolizing important aspects of Texas history. For example, on the sides of the entryway to the first floor rotunda are statues of Stephen F. Austin and Sam Houston. Not only are these statues in themselves important because of the people they are, their placement is symbolic as well. Another example of iconology used in the Texas State Capitol is the floor. The terrazzo floor was installed in celebration of Texas's centennial. The colored marble chips and wet binding of the floor commemorates the 12 important Texas battles fought during the Texas Revolution, the Mexican-American War, and the Civil War. On the floor of the rotunda is the Great Seal of the Republic of Texas, with 6 circular symbols surrounding it. These symbols represent the seals of the 6 nations that governed Texas before its independence. As you can see, the Capitol is ridden with iconology, and it just takes looking around to see it. The Texas State Capitol is modeled after the Italian Renaissance Revival style of architecture. Even though this building was built to look like the National Capitol in Washington, it still has Renaissance features and influences. One example of this is the symmetrical rectangular shape of the building. In the Renaissance architecture of Italy, buildings would typically be shaped either square or rectangular, just like the Capitol building is. In addition to the building being rectangular, as I mentioned earlier, it is symmetrical down the middle. This is another key Renaissance feature, as they built their buildings to be symmetrical around the vertical axis. A key person that influenced Italian Renaissance architecture in a major way was Filippo Brunelleschi. Many historians consider him to be the first Renaissance architect. He built the dome above the Cathedral of Florence, which is similar in shape and size to the Texas State Capitol dome. There were many buildings during the Italian Renaissance that looked very similar to the architecture style of the Texas State Capitol. One example is the Basilica of St. Peter. While the inside of the basilica looks different, the outside has many similarities to the Capitol building. Both are symmetrical and have similar stylistic influences. Another example is the Sistine Chapel. The outside entrance of the Sistine Chapel is very similar to the entrance of the Texas State Capitol. The reason I chose this as my piece of art was because I grew up admiring it. I am from Georgetown, Texas, which is right outside of Austin, Texas. My school would take field trips to the Texas State Capitol, and I was always in awe whenever I walked through. I've always had such an appreciation for it, however, I did not know a lot about architecture or the details of the building. I wanted to research the Capitol building so that I could learn even more about the place I grew up admiring. After researching the building and learning more about its roots, I now have a deeper appreciation and love for the building I grew up admiring. Thank you.